Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Star Trek Online. So, in our last episode, we did things and stuff. And today, we will do more things and stuff. And as I logged on, I just discovered some DOF assignments that I can turn in. It seems we have several. So, yay! That brought us up in some skill points there, and getting ever so close now to rank 2. Well, less than halfway, but getting there. Slowly, I guess. Alright, our next mission is Ground Zero. Wow, there's a lot of nice rewards there. Console items. Okay, so this mission is actually pretty fun. It's mostly ground mission. It says, how much do you know about the destruction of Romulus? The initial explosion did not occur in the Romulus system. It was in the Hobus system, which had planets being mined for decalithium. The supernova acted counter to almost all we know about this type of phenomena. The initial explosion converted the mass of the planets it consumed into energy, which then traveled through subspace. Ultimately, the Romulus system was destroyed, and along with it, the Romulan homeworld. Unchecked, the force of this chain reaction detonation could have threatened the entire quadrant. It was Ambassador Spock who sealed the rift by using red matter to create an artificial black hole. The Hobus system has been off limits to normal traffic since Spock and the Romulan known as Nero were lost there. Even Empress Sela respects the quarantine. Admiral Janeway conducted the first scientific survey of the Hobus system in 2388. Since then, we've been sending ships out on a regular basis to survey the system and attempt to determine a cause for what happened. I need you to conduct your own investigation. Perhaps, after all this time, we'll be the one to solve the mystery. So this is really cool because this ties in a lot of stuff that we've seen from Star Trek. This mission deals directly with basically what happened in the J.J. Abrams movie, where Romulus was destroyed, which sent Spock and Nero into the past and created an alternate timeline. Of course, this game doesn't take place in that alternate timeline. It takes place in the main, or what's called prime timeline of Star Trek, following the events of that. So all of that still happened in the main storyline. Romulus was still destroyed. Spock tried to use red matter to stop the explosion but failed, and both of them were sent into the past. But from there on out, this timeline still continued. So it's not like all of Star Trek was erased. So that's, this game and the series, if it were to ever continue in the future, would, take off from this point. So it all makes sense, basically. And this is us going to take a look at the Hobus system and investigate what happened, because that's the system where the explosion actually occurred. So it's going to be really cool because we're going to, I guess, see the place where it all began. And maybe we'll find something along the way that's unusual. I have a feeling we might. And of course, you saw mention of Admiral Janeway there, of course. This game is like 50 years in the future from Voyager. So, they made it home and she was Admiral and all that stuff. So, that's really cool. A lot of connections to what you've seen in every Star Trek series here in this game. So the Hobus system, you have to go all the way up to a new part of space we haven't gone to yet, called the Iota Pavonis sector space. And how I got there was to go through Alpha Centauri and then up to Iota Pavonis. And if you look on the map, it's the whole sector area block that's right above Alpha Centauri. So this is going to take us to a new area here in the Devron sector, which again you'll recognize that name from the very last episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Captain Picard said there was something going on in the Devron system. And so kind of it's the same area of space. Interesting, huh?
On a forgotten world, a shadow of great evil lurks. waiting for the chance to strike. The truth behind the destruction of the Romulus system may be the harbinger of the greatest threat the Federation has ever faced.
And there's the Romulus system up there. So Romulus is not actually in Alpha Centauri. It is up here in this Iota Pavonis, way up there in the Terod sector. So it's way up there in the grand scheme of things in the galaxy. And so we can at some point go to Romulus, and I'll show you the monument they have there. But that is where it is. It is up here in this part of space. And right now we're headed toward Hobus, which is down here. So Hobus is where the explosion happened, and as you can see, Romulus is way up here, so you can see it really affected, you know, a lot. Really messed up this part of space. There is some space battle in this mission, but it is mostly ground, and when I first played this mission for the very first time, it was hard. Of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really have good ground force and all that. But now that we've got a good ground team set up, it shouldn't be too bad. There's a lot of Romulans on the ground, but if you stay away from them, you won't aggro all of them. But if you do, then you're going to end up dying a lot. Here we are coming into the Hobus system, and you can see it's, well, broken up. Alright, let's enter the Hobus system. It says, the Romulan government is allowing Starfleet to conduct a scientific survey of the Hobus system, which has been under quarantine since the star went supernova in 2387. After all this time, we still don't know why the explosion happened the way it did. When the star went supernova, it converted the mass of the planets it consumed into energy. That energy traveled through subspace to other systems, including Romulus. So that's unusual, which was some 500 light years away. So Romulus is 500, we were looking on the map, Romulus is 500 light years away from this system, yet somehow the explosion traveled through subspace and destroyed Romulus. Billions of Romulans and Remans died in the explosion, so that's unusual. That's not normal. That's not normally how things work when things explode. So let's see what happened. Captain, I'm detecting Reman ships in the area. I would expect that they're here to keep an eye on us. We're being hailed by Commander Karatek of the Sithish. Putting it on screen. We have been informed of your mission, and I have decided reluctantly to permit your survey. I dislike Starfleet. For your own safety, do not approach the supernova remnant, and do not orbit anything but the Hobus 3 planetoid directly in front of you. Conduct your scans and then depart quickly. So they're going to let us scan Hobus 3. So let's head over there. Come on. Faster, faster. So this area is broken up into 3 areas, Hobus 3, 2, and 1. The planetoid's core contains trace signs of proto-matter. We should get a sample. Scanners are also picking up some odd readings from some of the silvery asteroids near the core. Recommend we investigate them as well. Collect samples of the planetoid core and the silver asteroids. So here's a silver fragment. Scan silver fragments. Captain, the Sithish is decloaked and is powering up disruptors. We're being targeted. Oh no.
Target shield has failed.
crap. About to explode. Ew, don't explode, don't explode.
Target shields have failed.
They, cloaked. I took a lot of damage there. My fault. Incoming hail. Do you want it on the main view screen? Do not gloat, Commander. Your victory was short-lived. If you value your life, you'll leave the system immediately. Recommend we examine the 2 remaining planetoids, sir. There's obviously something here that Commander Karatek doesn't want us to find. Now we have to go to Hobus 2, which is this area over here. So, proto-matter, huh? I just think this is beautiful. I mean, this look for a game, this looks really good. Hobus 2 shows signs of proto-matter explosion and debris on the surface that could have come from some sort of processing operation gone wrong. I recommend we take a sample for further study. Interesting. Scanners are detecting some kind of shield covering a large crater on the surface of Hobus 1. This may be what Commander Karatek didn't want us to discover. Collect a sample from Hobus 2. So we did that. Now we have to go to Hobus 1, which is over here. And as we saw, there are enemies that have warped in, but we're going to stay away from them. You don't have to fight them if you stay away from them. And over here is Hobus 1, which we need to get to, and there's the shield that's covering part of it. And there's something going on the surface. Hobus 1 shield. Definitely some kind of operations going on the surface. Scan shield. There are strange energy signatures coming from the surface of the planet. I'm picking up deposits of proto-matter, decalcium, and techosite, and equipment that could be used to process those materials. Captain, in sufficient quantities, those 3 rare substances could be combined to create an explosive device of massive power. If it were loaded into a probe and sent into a healthy star, it would create a supernova. I recommend we collect samples, sir. We need to know more. Interesting theory. Interesting theory. And, uh-oh. Beam down to Hobus 1. That ship is doing a lot of damage to us, that's for sure. This is not over. I will have your head mounted on my wall. Wonderful. Alright, let's beam down. So now we're on the surface. This is clearly some kind of mining operation. Based on what we've seen thus far, I'd say that the Romulans don't know about it, and the Remans want to keep it that way. So the Remans have created this, and don't want the Romulans to know about it. Interesting how it's turning out, isn't it? Looking like maybe the Remans set up an explosion to destroy Romulus. It's sure looking like that. That's an interesting formation. Okay, so we have to basically collect these samples and scan the power conduits. So this power conduit is giving off some confusing readings. We need to inspect the other two conduits. So this area is very large, and there are remans all over the place. So basically, just watch where I go and go there. We're gonna go down here first. We gotta fight some remans. Okay, this is one of the other power conduits. And we have one more, and that is this way.
Taking damage detected.
And the gravity is low on this planet, so you can make really far jumps like this. But just be careful, because there are groups of remans all over the place, and if you start aggroing all of them, you'll get yourself into trouble. You'll just get overwhelmed. Klingon Heart of Targ. Sounds tasty. I think I will have me some Heart of Targ. Uh-oh. See, now I've got two groups on me. Not good. And this is the third power conduit right over here. So I always do the power conduits first. And now I have to collect the samples, and there's one up there, then there's one over there, and then there's one back toward the beginning. So I'm gonna hit this one up first, and then I'll go back around to over that side. So that was the decalithium sample. This is just a crate. Now I'm going to go back down. And we need to go around this way. Through here. I'll go ahead and take these remans out. through here. Take this group out. Okay, collect sample. This is the Techosite sample. More remnants. There's some up there. Now the other sample is over, I think, in this area where that tall cone thing, shape thingy is. So they're not on the map. You have to kind of find them yourself, which means searching. And I do believe it is in that area over there. So let's take this group of remnants out. And this group. Now we need to go this way. And we gotta go inside this thing. Okay, right here, collect protomatter sample. Okay, there we go. I've analyzed the data from the conduits and the samples, and I've reached some conclusions. First, the Riemann's method of mining is causing the planetoid to be extremely unstable. In fact, the situation is critical. If we don't do something, this planetoid could become another Praxis. It already looks like it has become one. I think I can alleviate the problem, but we will need to disable the northern conduit and reduce the power moving through the western one. Once we've done that, we will need to increase power to the eastern conduit, and that will stabilize the power flow. Secondly, the signatures of the samples match that of the supernova. Material from the planetoid was used to create it. That means it was deliberate, Captain. The deaths of Romulus were murder. We need to report our findings to Starfleet. Recommend we adjust the power conduits quickly and get back to the ship. So first we got to stabilize the power conduits. So we have to go to the north and then the west. The north power conduit is back at the beginning of the game where we came in at. So basically you can just go from here and they're stuck. And go back down here into this area. Take out these remnants. Bolian souffle. Does wonders for whatever. Okay, so this is the north conduit, and we need to scan it. Alright, now we have to go to the west conduit, and that is simply up here back where we started at the beginning of the level. So kind of we went all the way around and back to the beginning again. And there's going to be another group that spawns up here once I get up here. this is the west conduit. So we're going to scan it. Now we have to increase power to the east conduit. The east conduit is way back at the back of this map, where we were at the very end of it. So if you go this way, you will have to fight some groups. It's not too bad. I'm always afraid one of my bridge officers is going to fire on a group and pull them in. So that's all the way back to this area here. So see, it's not too complicated. You kind of go around in a circle. And this is the last part of this map. We're going to have to do a couple of battles here. Oh crap. Let's grab this. Alright, increased power to east conduits. There, now we have to defeat Riemann groups. So basically, look, I got 3 turrets set up here. Haha, awesome. One more group. Alright, now we gotta defeat Karatek. Whoa, hello. Ta-da! That's how I take care of them. Well, I do love that quantum shard of possibilities thing. That definitely does work. I was wondering how efficient it would actually be on the ground, and I'm finding that it's a really good reward. It's very useful. Okay, so that's the ground part of Ground Zero, and now we got to finish the space part. So return to ship. Now we got to take on some Riemann's in space. And they've been doing a lot of damage to my ship, or at least that one ship was. I need to watch out for that a little bit more if I can. They were doing a lot of damage to my hull. That's the first wave. Got a second wave coming in somewhere. Over there. Alright, now we gotta defeat the IRW Sithish. The big baddie. One that was giving me all that damage. Got him. Destruction detected.
Rear shields failing.
Whew, that was a pretty tough battle, but we made it through. A little damaged, but we'll heal. Depart system. So there we go. We learned a mystery. The supernova that destroyed Romulus traveled through subspace, and it was artificially created. The Remans murdered the Romulans. It's as simple as that. We have much to consider. If the destruction of the Romulan homeworld was a deliberate act, not only was it a mass murder, but the one event has been a major cause of the destabilization of the Alpha Quadrant over the past 40 years. This one horrible act set off a chain of reactions that could change the Alpha Quadrant forever. We must know who did this and why. Sounds like the Remans to me. Let's look at my consoles and see what I could benefit from here. The EPS, I've got a Mark 6, but boy, I'd love to have that Mark 6 rare one. Yeah, I think that's what I'll go for right now.
Congratulations, Commander.
Alright, and we're Commander 29. Can you believe it? We're one away now from Captain. Holy crap. We're almost Captain. Ooh, I'm going to love that. Oh, look, now we get some very rare bridge officers. Got a Packlet engineering officer candidate. Packlet female. Got a Saurian. It is efficient. It's an efficient, very rare Saurian. This is the second efficient Saurian that I've had on this character. These efficient Saurians used to be extremely rare, and when you got one, it was like, awesome! I mean, you used to be able to sell these things for 50 or 60 million energy credits apiece. But now, because they have increased the drop rate of them, they are a little less unrare. And because of that, you do not get as much. I think, what did we get, 4 or 5 million when I sold that first one, and it was a rare. This is a very rare, so I mean, I may get like 6 million, I don't know. Still a lot. I mean, still definitely will help us selling it. You know, if you need energy credits, sell that thing. But if you want to use it, you know, I showed in a previous video how using the human boffs have leadership, which is pretty much one of the 2 space traits that you get on a bridge officer to help you with space stats. Well, the other one, besides leadership, is efficient. And you can find efficient, you can get efficient on yourself, and also the liberated Borg, or you can get these Saurians that have efficient. And this one here, it says, you can see under space abilities, it says efficient increases warp core efficiency, and that's going to improve your power levels. So if you wanted to actually use the Saurian, this was a good candidate to use for space. I wouldn't use them for ground, but this would be, you know, you could replace one of your humans with a Saurian. So you still have humans that have leadership, plus the Saurian with efficient, plus a liberated Borg, which I think has efficient, and plus yourself. I mean, you would have the most you could ever have, you know, and that would be it. So you could definitely use the Saurian. If you were going to use any for space, it would be the Saurian with efficient or a human, and that's it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this, and I'll probably end up selling it because I don't really need it for space, although I suppose I could add it, but I'd rather have the energy credits, so that way as we're leveling up I can buy some better, you know, equipment and stuff for my ship. When we get to Captain, I'm going to want to, you know, get Mark 8 stuff, right? And then I'll finally be able to use Polaron weapons on my ship, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably use it for the energy credits, but we'll see. Okay, so that was the mission, Ground Zero. And in the next episode, we will play Ghost Ship, which you have to be Commander 29. I'm Commander 29, so no problem. We can do that. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. That's a pretty cool mission, too. So I will see you all then.